Today, we have a full breakdown of the Detroit Pistons and the 2021 NBA Draft. If you haven't yet, please share and subscribe to help grow the channel, and I hope you enjoy the video. Today's video is powered by SeatGeek. Get $20 off any ticket sold using promo code ANTRIGHT on the SeatGeek app or website. Going into the draft, the Detroit Pistons had the number 1, the number 37, the number 42, and the number 52 pick. Most around the program believed at least one of the picks will be moved in some shape or form, and they were right. The number 37 pick, along with Mason Plumlee, was sent down to the Charlotte Hornets for their late second-round pick at 57. I didn't mind the trade down. Granted, there were a couple fringe first-round talents still available at 37, but this wasn't a very deep draft, so they felt they could still get a decent prospect at 57 while freeing up about $10 million in cap space. At number 1 in their only first-round pick, the Detroit Pistons selected Cade Cunningham, a big guard out of Oklahoma State, 6'8", 220 pounds, 7'1" wingspan. He has the prototype of a Paul George or a Luka Doncic. He has the ability to handle the ball, create for teammates, lead the team, take and make big shots. Even in high school, playing on one of the greatest teams ever assembled, he was the leader on a team of 5 future first-round locks, not including himself. He was the leader. He was the player who stood out. He was the one who drove the train on a team full of alphas. I thought this was a great pick and the right one. The Pistons took the best available player in the draft, despite a small contingent out there who had Jalen Green as their number 1 prospect. And I did do a comparison and thorough breakdown you can check out at the link in the top right-hand corner. After moving the 37th pick to Charlotte, the Pistons had their next pick at 42, where they drafted Isaiah Livers out of Michigan. The 6'8", 230-pound forward was a 4-star recruit and the 133rd best player in the country. While at Michigan, you could see his improvement each year. When the coaching change happened between his sophomore and junior season, his numbers jumped. He was given more responsibility with the basketball, asked to be more aggressive, put in ISO situations when he had an advantage. Sharpshooter from 3, putting up 5 threes per game at a 43% clip. These threes mostly coming off of assists, whether penetration from guards, which would help with spacing, or transition where Isaiah made it a living sprinting lanes for dunks or running wings hard for on-balance threes. Almost a 2-to-1 assist to turnover ratio, so he's careful with the basketball and not someone to take many chances. He's 23 years old, but I don't think he's near his ceiling. He has so much more growing to do, and think he's realizing he could give much more to the game and do much more as a player. He fits in as a 3-4 tweener right now, not sure how he's going to guard at the next level. Don't think he's quick enough for high-scoring threes, but not big enough for 4s. Think he may have to come in and change his body a bit to be more versatile defensively. He's a good help-side defender, but in isolations, that's where he'll need that development. He's been a bit injury-prone, but won't worry too much about it. He is coming off of a foot injury, so I won't be surprised at all if he doesn't play Summer League ball to continue to rehabilitate his foot and be ready for the season. I thought this was a nice pick, but it would have been interesting if the Pistons could have got him at 52 and took a chance here on Sharif Cooper or BJ Boston. At pick number 52, the Pistons elected to go with Luka Garza out of Iowa. He was a 4-star recruit and the 118th player in his class. At 6'11", 240 pounds, he leaves Iowa as the leading scorer in program history, 2nd best rebounder, and 5th best in blocks. He had an incredible career, National Player of the Year, 2-time All-American. His accolades go on forever and ever. Back-to-back years averaging 24 per game and 9 rebounds, worked on his jump shot all summer long before his senior season, went from shooting under 36% from 3 to 44% in 1 year. He was a threat from in the paint and from 3, tough to guard in the ball screen actions due to his footwork down low on the roll, and his 3-point range if he pops. So how does a National Player of the Year who's 6'11", shoots 44% from 3, averaged 24 and 9 in his last 2 years, drop so low in the draft? Scouts couldn't see how his game translated. He's 6'11 with a 7'1 wingspan, which isn't terrible, but you need a +4 or +5 on the APE index to really counter weaknesses with quickness and speed, especially on the defensive end. He doesn't have the best movement or fast twitch to change directions, had a 29.5-inch vertical, and I'm not sure if his game translates either. I don't see any successful players like him in the NBA right now, and guys like Marc Gasol are slowly fizzling out the league. No disrespect, but I would have went with Sandro Mamukelashvili here out of Seton Hall or Charles Bassey out of Western Kentucky. Sandro is a 6'11 point forward type who can plug in so many positions, be a versatile small ball 5, can play alongside any type of big man because of his ability to shoot the 3, create from the perimeter, and willingness to post and bang down low. Charles Bassey has tons of talent as the former number 6 player in the entire country at 6'11. Clint Capella type with more upside in my opinion. Decent motor, rim finisher, can face up and hit shots from the mid-range, can develop into a good pick and roll defender. I just think these guys have a much higher chance of transitioning their games to the NBA than Luka Garza. Because of the Mason Plumlee trade, the Pistons received the number 57 pick from the Charlotte Hornets, and with that, they took Balja Capotevita out of Florida State. The Serbian big man was a number 77 player in the country in his recruiting class, and also played with the number 1 draft pick, Cade Cunningham, while at Montverde Academy. Last year at Florida State, he put up 9 points and 5.5 rebounds while playing under 20 minutes per game with 1.4 blocks, which was 7th in the ACC. He's not an outside threat at all. If he's scoring the bucket, is assisted or off of an offensive rebound. He can play back to the basket, but doesn't really have a bag of moves to go to. Rim running in transition, hard rolling for alley-oops, and drop-off passes is where he'll get his scoring. Not much upside really, just a big body at 7'1", 240 with a 7'4" wingspan. I see his value defensively, being able to guard in the pick and roll effectively, and feel this is how he could get on the court in a Steven Adams type of role. Rim protect, strong pick and roll defense, rebound everything, finish every ball your guards throw at you. Just be that guy nobody likes to play against. I don't mind this pick. I said the Pistons needed a rim runner here, and they got one. Not going to nitpick that much, but I also would not have minded if they went with EJ Onu out of Shawnee State, who I feel has a much higher upside long term. A guy who was 6'11 with a 7'8 or 7'9 wingspan and shot 4 threes per game last season and made 40% of them while getting almost 5 blocks per game. Overall, man, the Pistons did well in this draft. I'm going to give them an A-. They drafted the best player available in Cade Cunningham, thought they could have taken some chances on some talented young guys in BJ Boston or Sharif Cooper, who slid quite a bit, and think Livers could have been there at 52. But I'm nitpicking, because if my biggest issue in the draft with them is going with National Player of the Year Luka Garza near the end of the second round, then they did a pretty good job.
Dan Dockage can't guard me.